Hi everyone, this is Andrew from Assessment Hive. Hope you're all having a nice day. Welcome to our video on SAP Calculations, the step-by-step guide for architects and developers. So do apologise if I look down. I've made notes, that way I stay on track and don't forget everything that I want to mention in this video. So if you're building, converting or extending a property in the UK, you've probably heard of the term SAP Calculations. But what are they and what is the process? So SAP calculations are a legal requirement, and in this post we'll break down the entire SAP calculation process clearly, step by step, so you know exactly what to expect. Before we go into the step-by-step process, I just wanted to quickly go over what is SAP Calculations. So SAP stands for the Standard Assessment Procedure, and it's the UK government's official method for calculating the energy performance of residential buildings. A SAP calculation will measure the energy efficiency of a property, the CO2 emissions, and the expected energy usage. The results are used to produce or demonstrate Part L compliance, and once the property has been completed, lodge an energy performance certificate. If you're working on a new build, conversion or certain extensions, SAP calculations are not optional, they are required. Step 1, gather the information. So before any calculations can be done, your SAP assessor will need the following. They'll need your architectural plans. They need the insulation levels in the exposed elements, such as the floor, the walls, and the roofs. They'll need the window and door specification. They'll need the heating and hot water systems. They'll need the ventilation strategy. And they'll also need any technologies that will be installed in the property. Here's a tip for architects and developers. The more accurate your information is up front, the quicker the process will be. We do understand that at the early stages of any development, you may not have the information, and your SAP assessor, or a good SAP assessor, will advise you of the process on how to get that information. Step 2, data entry and calculating the energy usage. So once you've provided your SAP assessor with all the information, they'll input this into the government SAP software, and it will let them know the energy usage of the property and whether it has passed or failed. Step 4, recommendations and adjustments if needed. So this is where a good SAP assessor can add some real value to your project. So if your current design fails, they'll suggest practical, cost-effective design or improvements to ensure that you pass your SAP calculations. Some of these may include upgrading your insulation, improving your heating system, adding solar panels, switching to LED lights throughout, or mechanical ventilation. There are a load more tips and recommendations that we can give out. However, I'm not going to give all my tricks away, so you'll only benefit from that if you're a client, but that does depend on your project as they are all different. Step 5, issue your SAP report and predicted energy performance certificate where required. So once the design has been fully agreed, your SAP assessor will provide you with your SAP report and your predicted energy performance certificate where necessary. We also like to produce a Part L compliance pack. It's not required, but it is good practice. This is sends out to building control and for your architects and builders, and it provides a brief description or summary of how we've met compliance, and it gives directions on what to do during the build and once the property has been built, so you come across no issues. This pack, together with your SAP and predicted EPC, are submitted to building control, and they may also be submitted to any lenders or insurers or warranty suppliers. Step 6, final SAP calculations or as-built SAP calculations and EPC where applicable. So once you've fully constructed the property and it's ready for sign-off, you'll provide or ask your SAP assessor to provide the final SAP calculation and EPC where appropriate, and they will need you to provide them with the following: the final air tightness test where applicable, confirmation of the materials used to ensure they match the as designed stage, and photographic evidence if it is a new build property. With all that information, they'll then be able to provide you with a final SAP calculation and energy performance certificate for your file and sign off. When do you need SAP calculations? Quite simply, there's only 3 instances you need them. 1, new builds. 2, conversions. And 3, some extensions if they are over glazed. Don't leave your SAP calculations to the last minute, as it could be quite costly. If your SAP calculations fail, you may need to make some alterations. It's easier for you to do this before the property is built rather than at the end. It could cost you quite a bit. So definitely get those up front. If you have any requirements, if you're building or extending or converting, get in touch. We can help. See you later, everyone. Bye.